Hey there, my name is Matt Lenka. I make music under the name The Veiled Creature, and I'm going to take you on a little bit of a studio tour today. We're going to do this kind of vlog style. I'm going to show you the whole room, including like the non-musical parts. You can kind of see the space I have. I made one of these in 2022. I'm going to try and do them every 2 years. So here, we're going to walk out of the room. Here's the door. We're in a hallway in my upstairs in my house. So I'm going to walk in, and you can kind of see what you've seen in a lot of videos is the studio part of the room. However, I'm going to show you kind of the rest of it here. I know you all probably have seen videos of like, you know, people with perfect spaces and custom built studios and arrangements of, you know, their gear that's really, you know, pretty and very, you know, good for workflow and stuff like that. Well, I don't really exactly have that. And my guess is a lot of you don't either. So here, I'm going to stand in the middle of the room here, and I'm going to do a quick spin. You can see the whole space. Okay, so there's boxes of stuff. This is like 80% a storage room and 20% studio. Hey, look, there's a whole bunch of CDs. Do you kids know what those are anymore? There's the door we just came in. There's a giant stack of mostly acoustic instruments, but there's also like basketball cards and wrapping paper. I don't know what's in this box. Let's see, books I haven't read, games I haven't played, some Funko Pop stuff going on, my old Xbox. Ooh, there's a exercise bike, that's fun. And there's another box of stuff there. And then we're back in studio land. Oh, my sneakers down there as well, kind of taking over underneath the table. Okay, so that's the space. This is a bedroom. We call it the office in my house, but like I said, it's like 75-80% storage for other stuff, and I've commandeered the last remaining 20-25% for making music. Let's walk through the studio here a little bit. Here, we'll kind of go left to right. So here's my Roberts 770X stereo tape machine. It works. It's much like 2 years ago in this video. It is not integrated fully into the setup. It just looks cool. Makes people maybe take me seriously because I have a tape machine. They're like, ooh, he's a real artist. No, I'm just kidding. Arturia Keylab Essential, which is obviously not set up right now. There's some storage under here too. There's like microphones and boxes and stuff. Let's talk about the actual instruments though. So Moog Sub 25. I typically use this for bass. I think there's only maybe 1 or 2 videos I've made where this is not the bass sound you're hearing. It's almost always the bass sound. So I love having the Juno Chorus plugin on it as well. Sounds great. I love it. Fits perfectly in the space here. It's kind of propped up on some old pieces of wood. It's not like an actual stand. It's just pieces of scrap wood from the hardware store. Waldorf Blofeld, really, really great digital synth. Very small footprint. If you're looking for something for a lot of bang for your buck, that's the way to go. It's really cool. I've been thinking about getting a Op6 Mark II because they came out with the desktop version, and that would also fit very nicely right here. I'm not yet convinced that I need to make the swap, but we'll see. Novation Peak. This is the first poly synth I bought. This has a really unique sound. I've used it quite a bit. Again, a relatively small footprint for a poly synth, especially one without a keyboard. It's stacked on a bunch of books and a guitar stand, which is fun, you know, but sounds really cool. Prophet Rev 2. This functions as, you know, both a synth and my MIDI keyboard. I think it sounds really great. Yeah, just a huge range of sounds. Super cool. So we got the Arturia Drum Brute Impact drum machine, which I think sounds fantastic, especially for the price. Pretty narrow range of sounds, but like it works for me. Okay, so we got Doepfer A100 modular case with a bunch of stuff in it. I'm not going to go through all of that right now. Okay, on the top here is a little AM/FM radio. I've been playing around with capturing the sounds from the radio into clouds and then kind of playing around with sending it around. I was doing that yesterday. Didn't really end up making anything I thought was super cool or useful, but if I kind of dial that in, I'll make a video about that. Singing bowl, which is exactly what it sounds like. It's a bowl that sings. Why not? I'm not good with money, you guys. I buy stuff like that. We got Model Cycles, Groovebox, which I think is very cool. Super intuitive. It's the only Electron device that I own at the moment, but very happy with how playable this is. It kind of looks complex. And I mean, it is complex in a way, but like my mind was able to wrap around it, which is more than I can say for some other devices I've owned in the past. Moog Subharmonicon, super cool, very inspiring instrument. This plays well with the modular as well. The key step is generally controlling the Juno, the Roland JU-06A. which is like really great sounding, you know, Juno synth basically. Right now I got the whole, okay, so everything on this table is run through the modular and then comes out through the output of the modular right here. And then those go through one side, because it's a stereo output, one side goes through Shallow Water and the other side goes through Loke right now. They're both kind of like tape emulation kind of guitar pedals. They're pretty subtle. I have a video where I kind of experimented with the sounds on either side of each channel, and I like it for now. It's got a little bit of a flavor that adds to the modular as it comes out before it hits the interface. Monitors, we got, you know, my monitor stands, stacks of books on both sides. Can't really see that one. PreSonus Aris E 4.5. They're about as big as this room can handle. You know, they're not the world's greatest monitors, but they're A, what could I could afford, and B, I think sound pretty good for what I make, the kind of music I make. So a long time I was doing everything in headphones, and finally got these monitors just in the last I don't know, maybe less than 6 months ago. So this is pretty cool. This is just where they fit. Ideally I'd have them on either side of my screen as I'm trying to mix and do stuff, but it just doesn't work that way just because of the reality of the space. So, you know, I hit play over here and then I roll my chair over here so I'm centered between the monitors and listen to it. And if I need to fix something, I roll back over here. Alright, let's walk through real quick the nuts and bolts of everything going on down here. So, we've got this here, a power conditioner. This is actually a home theater power conditioner. It's got a switch to outlets as well, so I can turn things on kind of in stages. Works really well. I actually have 2 of them. I have another one kind of stored somewhere that I'm not using right now. But this is kind of my main power conditioner, just because I can reach behind here and, you know, switch outlets and things pretty easily. Interface, a Motu 828. As you can see, I have 2 of them. So this is the one that's actually running into the computer, and then this one is connected via ADAT light cable to this one. So for a total of, let's see, this has 8 inputs plus the 2 mic pre's here, and then this has 8 inputs. So 8 plus 8, 16, plus the 2 mic pre's, so that's 18 analog inputs. This is the Mark II, which is a FireWire 400 interface, which is going through a breathtaking number of dongles and adapters to get it into the Thunderbolt port on my Mac Mini. So this is FireWire 400 to FireWire 800, and then another dongle that goes FireWire 800 to Thunderbolt 2, I think, and then another dongle that goes Thunderbolt 2 to Thunderbolt 3, which then goes into the computer, and I have, by some miracle, was able to find the correct driver that makes all this work with very minimal and almost not even noticeable latency. So, these run for like $100 each on eBay. I bought 2 of them on eBay. And yeah, that's how everything is getting recorded. And it works really well. I'm as surprised that it works as you are. Below the interfaces here, radial, this is a power conditioner as well. Nothing fancy. We got 3 outlets on the front and I think 8 on the back, if I remember correctly, without looking. And then we got a nice little USB power supply here, which is like, I've used this a ton of times. At the time I bought this, I was like, hey, that's kind of cool, that might be useful, and I've used this like a lot. That's a very cool feature. I'm hoping more power conditioners will start to have that similar feature, because that's very useful for how much stuff is USB powered these days. Couple of channel strips here, DBX 286S, which I don't really use that much, to be honest. It was just a cheap channel strip. The one I use more often is this ART Pro Channel 2. This is a tube channel strip. Kind of I think of it as like the poor man's Universal Audio LA610, which I want someday. But for now, this is what I could afford. I think this was like 200 bucks. And it's cool. And it's, you know, got a cool VU meter, and it does all the compression and EQ, and it's all analog. And I typically, anything I record with mics, which is not very often, I record through this, and then that goes up and eventually comes out the back and goes into here, and then into the computer, which I'm running Reaper 7 is the DAW I use. I think that's about it. Running a 2020 Mac Mini M1, which is lightning fast and works really, really great. So that is the studio that you see in all the videos. If you have any questions about any of this took me, I think I started building this in 2018, 2019, when I started like buying music stuff. And then actually having it set up to make music starting about 2 years ago in maybe more like 2021, when I actually started like having this set up permanently. Because for a long time I would just take stuff out of boxes and set it on my dining room table downstairs and make music for, you know, an hour or two, and then box everything back up and put it away. So this is like the semi-permanent, you know, setup. Someday I will likely, I hope, have that, you know, perfectly organized studio that you see on all the channels with my little succulents and, you know, cat posters and all that stuff. But I don't have that yet, but I'm making music in the space that I have. It's not perfect, but I'm guessing a lot of us are making music in imperfect spaces. And that's okay. I just wanted to be kind of, you know, honest and open about my space, you know. I would love for it to be perfect, have it be the thing that everybody dreams of. But it's not, at least not yet. But it works for me, and I'm able to do what I want to do with the space that I have. And so feel free to ask me any questions about this. I'll be making music again soon. I know it's been about a month or so since I made a video, but we're going to get back into it really soon. So, alright, see you guys later.